Take some time now to settle the body. Begin by sitting in a comfortable position. Ensure that there's balance between the right and the left side of the body, but that you're steady and comfortable. Check in that the spine is straight and your head and neck are aligned with the spine. Shoulders are back and down, but relax so that you're opening the chest. And gently close the eyes and the mouth. Place your hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice. So it could either be with the finger at the root of the thumb with the palms open, or with the palms down. And take a long, deep inhalation, breathing right into the abdomen. And when you exhale, separate yourself from all the events of the day. And take another long, deep inhalation. And this time when you exhale, release all of the conversations and interactions that you've had today. Just let them all go. And again, another long, deep inhalation. And when you exhale this time, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you need to do outside of this class, and allow yourself to sit still and focus on what we're doing right now at this present moment. Bring the awareness now to the base of the spine. And gently, with the awareness, move it up the spine, focusing on each vertebrae, checking in with that vertebrae as you move the awareness gently up through the spine. And then up into the neck, trying to remain still. Now bring the awareness to the back of the head and the crown of the head. And then gently rest the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti. And I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to all spiritual traditions and to each other, so that we can all learn together without ill will. So breathing in first for Om chanting, and please keep the eyes closed and place the awareness still at the eyebrow center as you chant Om. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinadvadhitamastu, Ma Vedvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. And remaining in stillness, again, keeping the awareness at the eyebrow center. This class is going to be focused on the spine and spinal health, because The spine clearly is very important in our body. It helps to keep us upright, but it also is one of the spiritual centers of the body, the mind, and the spirit. And it's really important that we focus on not only keeping it straight, but also maintaining its flexibility. And it can be seen as a symbol of how we need to be throughout life, when we need to be flexible with whatever life events come before us. So we'll begin now with our first posture, which will be Majariasan, the cat posture. So clearing the space and coming onto the hands and the knees, ensuring that the hands are directly below the shoulders and the knees are directly below the hips, so that the body is almost in like a box-like formation. The head is in a neutral position in line with the floor, with the eyes closed. Inhale and then reach the head up towards the ceiling and pointing the abdomen towards the floor. So you're arching the back, pressing through the arms and feeling that stretch in the back. Exhale, bring the head to in between the arms and arch the back up towards the ceiling. Again, stretching through the arms and just feeling the movement in the spine, the space between the vertebrae. Complete another 4 rounds, slowing it down, making it a very smooth movement. Trying to achieve that body, breath, mind connection and placing the awareness in the spine, observing what is happening there as you complete this practice. After your 5th round of this practice, come back into the child posture, Shashankasan. So bringing the buttocks to the feet, so back to the heels, placing the arms either out in front or you can put them to the sides and placing the forehead on the floor. If you have low blood pressure, please make fists and make sure your head is above your heart. But otherwise, just allow the body to sink into the floor. And with each exhalation, you can allow the body to relax even further. We're going to do a practice now that actually helps with the spine, but also the top of the head. So for this practice, lift the buttocks up and then place the top of the head, the very top of the head on the floor, feeling that pressure point in the top of the skull, and just hold for 3 breaths. And then when you've done, come back into child's posture. Our next practice is called Uttana Shishasana, and it's extended puppy pose. So for this one, we're going to bring the arms on top of one another and then bringing the chest towards the floor and forehead on the floor. So you're arching the back down. So knees are together. Hold, come back. We'll just complete 3 rounds of this one. Forehead on the floor behind the folded hands. Feeling that stretch in the back. And then come back to relieve the back. And then one last time, holding for your own duration. When you've come back into the child posture once again. Our next practice will be, it's called Sphinx pose. So it's pretty much like the Egyptian Sphinx that you would have seen. So for this one, lie on the stomach, make sure the heels are together. Place the hands just at the shoulders, so hands flat on the floor. And your forehead's on the floor to begin with, so your head and neck are in a neutral position. Inhale, and you're really just arching up the top of the back and looking up. So your abdomen remains on the floor. So it's just a very small back bend. And then exhale, bring the forehead back to the floor. Complete 5 rounds of this practice, just holding for what is comfortable for you. It should not be painful in any way, but make sure you keep the heels together because that helps to support the back. And after your 5th round of this practice, lie on the back in Shavasana, just to give the back a little bit of a rest. The arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up. Legs are at hip width apart and relaxed. And just observe what's happening in the body from these practices. If you're not used to back asanas, you might feel a lot of energy moving around. For our next practice, I'll just move this way. Bring the feet in front of the buttocks and then bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to fall towards the floor. Bring the hands in prayer position in front of the heart space. Inhale and bring the palms together above the head and add a little bit of pressure on the knees to open the hips a bit more, stretching through the torso. And then inhale, bring the knees together and bring the hands back to the heart space. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds. So exhale, palms above the head, knees to the sides, stretching up through the torso, feeling that's a very full body stretch. And if you can, hold the 5th round a little bit longer than the others, just allowing the body to move into the position. When you've completed the 5th round, bring the knees back to center and just allow the arms to be a little bit away from the body with the backs of the hands on the floor, but keep the knees up for a few moments. Now, place the palms underneath the buttocks with the palms flat on the floor. So for this one, this is a bridge pose. So you can bring the legs out of sort of hip width apart. And what you're going to do is when you inhale, you're going to push through the heels and raise the buttocks up, like so. Inhale, raise the buttocks up, like a bridge posture, and then hold for a few breaths, and then release the buttocks back to the top of the hands again. We'll complete another 4 rounds of this. Practice and hold for what's right for you. Again, trying to hold that final round just a little bit longer than the others. Making sure you're keeping the head aligned with the spine through this practice as well. After your final round, bringing the buttocks back to the floor, bring the knees to the chest, hug the arms around the knees, and just give the lower back a bit of a massage. So you could go in circles, or you could go from side to side, whatever your body needs, just to help release the back, because we're doing a lot of focus on the spine. And then when you've had enough of a massage, keep the knees at the chest. Inhale and then exhale, and then bring the head up, the nose towards the knees. Exhale, bring the head back to the floor. And we'll complete another 4 rounds of this practice, making sure that you exhale before you lift the head up. When you finish your final round of this practice, bring the soles of the feet back to the floor. And then place the hands behind the head as long as the elbows reach the floor. If not, just bring the arms out to the side at shoulder height. Inhale, and when you exhale, keeping the feet in contact with the floor still, but the knees on top of one another. As you exhale, bring the knees to the right and turn the head to the left. Feeling this spinal twist. Breathing in the position, you'll notice that your back starts to open gently and ease in. And then inhale, bring the knees back to center and the head back to center. Exhale, bring the knees to the left and turn the head to the right. Complete another 4 rounds of this practice, all in your own time. So whatever the duration is for you. And you've finished your final round. Lie in Shavasana. Again, the legs hip width apart, arms a bit away from the body, palms facing the sky, head and neck are aligned. And just allow the body to rest in the position and observe all the effects of the practices so far. We've focused on the spine, but the spine influences many different parts of the body. And then when it's right for you, come into a comfortable sitting position again. Sit on a bolster if you've got one. So come back to the comfortable sitting position. And just take a few moments to settle the body again and regulate the breathing. And we'll move into now our pranayama practice. But first, place the awareness on the natural breath and observe the natural breath at the nostrils and how on the inhalation it fills the abdomen with air and then the chest with air. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. Just focusing on the breath. Our pranayama practice will be Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. So this practice is really a wonderful practice when you're feeling quite overwhelmed. It helps to still the mind. And so for this practice, I will demonstrate first. So with the right hand, with the first and the middle finger, place them at the eyebrow center. With the right thumb, and so make sure the head is upright as well, in line with the spine. With the right thumb, gently cover the right nostril. And then you'll breathe through the left nostril to the eyebrow center. With the ring finger, cover the left nostril and uncover the right, exhaling out of the right. If you can, keep the eyes closed throughout this practice and make sure that you're not just breathing shallowly into the chest, you're doing an abdominal breath. On the right side, you inhale through the right nostril to the eyebrow center, cover the right nostril, uncover the left, and exhale out of the left nostril. Just working with your own natural breath. And then inhale through the left to the eyebrow center, cover the left, exhale from the right. So you inhale through the right and then exhale out of the left. Inhale through the left, exhale out of the right, just working with your own natural breath. And we'll do this practice for a minute or so. And if your arm's getting a little tired, just support it with the left arm. And now the next time that you exhale from the left nostril, Release the hand back to the knee, keeping the eyes closed. Then focus on the breath going through both nostrils to the eyebrow center, inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. And now release the practice and lie down in Shavasana. We'll move now into Yoga Nidra. So if you need some cushions or coverings because your body temperature will drop, get those things now so that you don't need to move throughout the practice. If you need to put a cushion under your knees to support the back, please feel free to do that now as well. So lying down in Shavasana to prepare for Yoga Nidra. Ensure that there's balance between the right and left sides of the body. That the spine is straight, and you may like to tuck in your chin a little just to check that the head and neck are aligned with the spine. The legs are hip width apart, with the legs flopping to the sides. All tension is released from the legs. And the arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up. Take a long, deep inhalation, full yogic breath. And as you release the breath, allow the body to melt into the floor. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And on the exhalation, release any remaining tension in the body, particularly with the face. So ensuring that you're not clenching your jaw, you're not tightening the muscles behind the eyes, and the eyes are gently closed. And feel the body's contact against the floor, beginning first with the heels against the floor. Feel the back of the legs and the buttocks against the floor. Feel the back of the hands and the arms against the floor. Feel the back against the floor. And the back of the head and neck. Feel their contact with the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact create one singular point of contact between the body and the floor. Become aware of sound and listen first for sounds that are far off in the distance. And don't try to identify the sounds, just move the awareness from one sound to the next once you hear it. Move the sound awareness a little closer now to sounds outside the room where you are. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the room where you are. We'll move the sound awareness now even closer to sounds within the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now move the sound awareness to the sound and the sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. A sankalpa is a very brief statement that's usually said in the present tense to signify something that you want to achieve. So it might be, I am healthy, I am happy, whatever it may be for you. If you have a sankalpa, a positive intention, mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because it can emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen to my instructions. And when I say the name of a body part, place your awareness there. Mentally repeat the name of that part and visualize that body part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And move now over to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. Moving now to the back of the body with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. Moving now to the face with the forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the temples, the eyes, the ears, the cheeks, the nose, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, the whole body. Have a sense now all at once, the whole body. Release the body rotation now and bring the awareness back to the natural breath. Observe just how subtle the natural breath has become, and also observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. And we'll now add a visualization to the natural breath. Again, focusing on the spine. So as you inhale, imagine the breath traveling from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. And with each exhalation, let the breath descend down the spine. Imagine on the inhalation, you are inhaling golden healing light up through the spine, from the base of the spine to the top of the head. And you are releasing anything that does not serve you on the exhalation from the top of the head down to the base of the spine. And if the mind wanders, remember to use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to the practice. Release the breath visualization now, and instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body is feeling hotter and hotter. Imagine a warm, soothing light flowing up the spine, bringing comfort and ease to the back. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. Imagine a warm, soothing light flowing up the spine, bringing comfort and ease. Release the feeling of heat now and replace it instead with a feeling of coldness. The body is feeling colder and colder. Visualize a cool, refreshing breeze descending down the spine, relieving any tension on the way. The body's feeling colder and colder. It feels as though a cool, refreshing breeze is descending down the spine. Release this feeling of coldness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, and the spine in particular feels heavy, so heavy it feels like it's sinking into the earth. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The spine feels so heavy it feels like it's sinking into the earth. Release this feeling of heaviness now and replace it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, particularly the spine. The spine feels as though it's floating effortlessly upwards, free and unburdened. The body's feeling lighter and lighter. The spine feels as though it's free, floating and unburdened. Release this feeling of lightness now and release all of these sensations completely. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. And instead now come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize and create the following objects and images. Imagine your spine is a strong, flexible tree. The roots of this tree are grounded firmly in the earth and feel stable and supported. The trunk, your spine is tall and straight and resilient, and it's able to bend and move gracefully. Your limbs are like branches of the tree, and they reach out freely, embodying your vitality and energy. With each breath, you feel the strength and flexibility within you, knowing that your spine supports you in every movement of your life. Imagine that you are like a tree and your spine is flexible but strong, just like you are. And imagine it swaying in the breeze. Release this visualization and come back to your mat and call to mind your sankalpa, a positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now, and if you don't have one, leave some space for it may emerge on its own. And feel the breath in the body again. Allow the breath to deepen. And as you do, observe the movement it creates in the body. Observe how when you inhale, it moves the spine against the floor. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. Begin first to remember the details of the room that you are in. Remember the color of the floor, the color of your mat, and the color of your coverings. Remember the time of day. And begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. Begin to make small movements with the fingers and the toes, allowing the body to gently externalize and move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to gently move the head from side to side, or even raise the arms above the head for a full body stretch. And then when it's right for you, roll on the right side for a few moments. And then very gently and mindfully, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, come to a comfortable sitting position, trying to maintain this peaceful state that you have created. And checking now in this comfortable sitting position that your spine is straight and your head and neck are aligned. Bring the awareness to the base of the spine. And as you move up each vertebrae, imagine that you are switching on a light on each vertebrae as you gently move the awareness up through the spine and up into the neck, into the back of the head and the crown of the head, and then gently resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude our class. Breathing in for Om chanting. Om. 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.